All right, Cole, what are we doing?
Gary, come with me to my laboratory. We go here often,
this place.
but this one. Don't worry, I got another coat hook for you. It is the middle of winter. It is chilly.
Oh, thank you.
And also,
winter is coming.
I wish you would stop saying that.
Keep calm and winter is coming.
Oh God, Gary, if we put that T-shirt out, we could just retire.
Keep calm and winter is coming, says the neon cat.
What is Neon Cat?
It's a flying cat that shoots Pop-Tarts out of
is that the Pop-Tart guy, I think?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You said Neon Cat, it made it sound like a Coors sign.
Oh, sure. I was trying to say neon cat. I think it's neon cat.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Gary, I've been working on some experimental skin graft technology.
Ooh.
And I've been told by my muse, by the voices that, quite frankly, keep me awake at night, that the pattern is sewn into his face as I unwrap him.
You're like the first boss of BioShock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I am like that guy whose name I cannot remember.
Yeah, Doctor Skin.
Yes, Dr.
Fontaine.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that. It's yeah. But anyway,
it's fine. I'm him. I don't have to who he is.
Refer to Watch Out Fireballs episode 60.
Yes, but we're going to slowly unravel these bandages and oh no,
it's the Joker. No,
yeah.
We're
Darkman. I say
Darkman. Oh, okay.
Joker, stop it.
Why did we get Joker to tell us to play the Shadow?
So, Gary, I think we've established some kind of we've always been really in jokey, but the Shadow Darkman dichotomy / mix up and us always intentionally getting them wrong.
Yeah,
that probably has its roots in a mistake in an episode of Bonfireside Chat and a 2-minute joke apology that we did. So if people don't know what that is.
We've never been called out for anything as much as we've been called out for that.
I know.
We say a lot of wrong stuff, and then we have shockingly regressive right-wing political views that we espouse all the time on the show, and nobody ever calls us out. We're just vegans shouldn't be able to vote.
Yeah, boys will be
nobody
boys.
says anything about it.
Yeah.
But we mix up Darkman and the Shadow, and everyone loses their shit.
Yep.
So.
Loses their shit in only the way that our fans can, which is politely correcting us and linking us the trailers.
Yeah, but I think it just felt big because it happened on all fronts.
Yep.
It was the same day. I felt like that's probably the closest, with any luck, the closest I'll ever have to being in a major scandal. Where I woke up one day and just something awful thread. Oh, people are, Twitter. Oh, Facebook. Getting corrected everywhere.
Email. Oh no, Gary.
Yeah.
It's all burning down. It's like Al Capone being popped for tax evasion. We fuck up so much, but it's this one little thing.
It's you call me or just Gary, turn on the TV.
Gary, don't go outside. Don't go outside.
Two very similar movies.
It's totally an Armageddon Deep Impact thing, but they're holding it against us.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's fine. Was not actually bothered by that. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
You don't give a shit.
I don't care if the Shadow gets Darkman.
Gary, right now, who is not giving a shit?
I'm not giving a shit. Gary Butterfield.
Yeah, I'm Cole Ross, also not giving a shit.
Yeah, the show where we don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Object Suffering, where you play bad games and talk about Darkman and the Shadow.
Yep. Interchangeably.
Yes.
Yeah. Why are we doing this to you?
Yeah. Yeah. So the Shadow is a movie about a man who works on skin grafts named Leon Ramey. And he always wanted to make a movie in Hollywood. And he tried to get the rights to Batman, but he could only get the rights to Darkman. And that's the story of the Shadow.
Gary.
Co-starring Frances McDormand.
Gotta disagree with your police work there, Gary. But, wow. So I'm also going to reveal something. Despite all of the scandal, I've never seen either of these movies.
I see. It's weird because I think we probably have the equivalent knowledge, but I've seen both of them, but remember nothing. Like I saw them when they came out because I was like of age, and I was like, "Oh, cool, Darkman. Oh, cool, The Shadow." But I don't remember very much about either of them.
Yeah. So, what can you actually tell me about Darkman? Because this game is much like The Rocketeer in that it has cinematics. Like, there's actually a full menu item that says like, okay, here's the backstory.
That's awesome too.
I
with
glazed
the eyes
over it. Oh yeah,
that keep popping up like in the darkness, like looking back and forth, like It's like little animated eyes that appear between the text, and the way like I only imagine happens in the Necronomicon. Like it is super super spooky. But it is a guy who's working on a skin graft, and this new kind of skin graft for burn victims, and some criminals blow up his lab and burns his face, and he goes to get revenge on the criminals.
Hoisted on his own petard.
Yep. It's ironic. It's a classic ironic ending. And then because of the drugs that he's taking and his skin graft stuff, or his skin graft drug, it also gives him like an enhanced adrenaline or something like that. Like he doesn't know when his body doesn't know when it's tired.
Right.
So he can push himself further. So he's like mildly super strong and can look like anybody with these skin grafts.
And he has panic attacks on the air.
Yes, indeed. And he can only do it for 9 minutes. And that's Darkman.
Right.
The Shadow,
okay,
I think he's just a guy in a coat.
Okay. Who happens to be Alec Baldwin?
Yes.
Like slightly like towards maybe the end of his prime, Alec Baldwin?
Yeah, but his first prime.
Yes.
Because now he's in like his renaissance.
Yeah, I would also say he's at the tail end of his current renaissance.
I would say so too.
Yeah. Although I would never, I would like to talk with Alec Baldwin. I think he would be a cool guy.
What would you like to talk to him about?
I don't know, just in general, like his views.
Yeah, just like,
I mean, he seems to be, I don't know what his views are, but he seems to be very adamant about them. And, I like talking to people who care.
I just would want to get him to narrate something.
Yeah.
Like I'll get him to do my voicemail message, and that's pretty much all I want from him.
His podcast, the one that he does where he's like, oh, I'm going to talk to Jerry Seinfeld or whatever. I kind of like always have it on my list, mainly because Chris keeps telling me to listen to it, saying it's really good, but I don't like interview podcasts that much.
Yeah, I'm not super into interviews in general, but it might be worth it just listen to Adam Baldwin talk.
Yes, Adam Baldwin, founder of Gamergate.
Yes, yeah. Well, I got my shotgun here, and I don't want the feminist to...
Let me tell you about the secret Jew Illuminati, Big Hollywood.
That's my Adam Baldwin. Fuck that guy. I meant Alec Baldwin.
Yes.
Doesn't Alec Baldwin seem like he has and Liam Neeson? Oh, Liam Neeson did it. But I was going to say have the exact appropriate amount of fame to die early on in an Obsidian game. Like he's careening towards that.
Yeah.
Like he had 30 Rock, and then in Fallout 5 or Fallout 4, he's going to be the voice of the computer that like raises you.
Yeah.
And then get blown up at the end of the tutorial.
Gary, like, let us hope that the angels favor us so.
Yeah, I definitely hope so.
Yeah.
Because the dying early on in an Obsidian game is a great honor for people with great voices.
Yeah. Sean Bean. Well, I guess Sean Bean stuck around for the whole time, but Picard,
Patrick
his
Stewart.
ass, his ass got killed.
Yeah, he got regicided.
Yeah. If you configure the name of the king who's being killed, yeah.
But yeah. So that's Alec Baldwin. That's Adam Baldwin.
Yeah.
And that's what's his head?
Yeah, the Shadow.
Yeah, the Shadow. But let's move on from the Shadow and move on to Liam Neeson's.
Yes. Why does Key and Peele so good, Gary? Like, I don't mean to,
it's wonderful.
I don't mean to like immediately jump in and just kind of like, billboard your references there. But
no, it's good that you did. It's not just me having morning mushmouth at 4:40 in the afternoon. But it's really, really funny. Like that show, I haven't watched a whole episode of it. I've just watched clips because I don't have cable, and that's how they come to me.
Yeah.
But every one of them has been really gold. Mm-hmm. So it makes me think that like this is a real contender for like sketch show.
Yeah.
It's
really suited to that. Actually, like the clip delivery, and so it belies a level of savvy which I otherwise might come to resent if the quality wasn't so good.
Yeah,
but
it even comes down to their marketing for them. Like when you watch a YouTube clip, they're like, "You love watching Key and Peele on YouTube. You'll really like it if you buy the DVD." Mm-hmm. And yeah.
But hey, no, I don't need to watch it on DVD because you put it on YouTube and you get ad revenue from that anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, but Liam Neeson's.
Yeah, the Liam Neeson's guys, the super, super good. Mm-hmm. Those guys are very funny. I watched have you ever seen the Continental Breakfast?
No.
one. It features that's a guy who's enjoying a continental breakfast at a hotel and just treating everything like it's very fancy because it sounds like it's fancy, even though it's just, and it features him holding a thing of Go-Gurt and saying, Go-Gurt, but to stay, and putting it in his mouth, which is one of my all-time favorite lines in like anything. Go-Gurt, but to stay. It's very funny.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Precious Mercious.
I'm working on a t-shirt design for that, actually.
Oh, for Precious Mercious, Bardwell State?
Yep. East Bardwell State.
That's good.
Yep.
That'll be very funny. Yeah. A good shirt. Sometime we have to get those shirts. Like,
to be continued. This.
Okay. Yeah, we can. I don't mean sometime like now in the middle of an episode of Abject Suffering, but there are several of the shirts I would like to wear.
Yeah.
Darkman. So this is a bad game, right?
Oh, it's terrible. It's probably
I just want to make sure that you also thought it was terrible.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Just pulse check there.
Yeah.
It's possibly the game that I've played the least of for the show in terms of actual probably percentage of its runtime.
Me too. I couldn't get. There's like a platform I just kept jumping through. Is that okay?
Yep, because the background is indistinguishable from the foreground, even in the terms of like what the game considers to be geometry.
Yeah, that's really stupid. And like the game, like, so out of every game we've done that has just been garbage and we've quit, early on, I think this game has like the most interesting mechanics to it. Like I was reading about it and watched a speedrun of it and stuff. And there are a bunch of cool stuff that you do in this game. You just can't get past, there's just like one intangible platform that fucks it all up. And like, it doesn't control great up to that point. It doesn't feel really good to play. Like
you accelerate too quick. And like the other side of that is if you jump too soon in the middle of a run, you just like move 2 pixels and then drop to your death.
Yep. Yeah. It's got game maker physics. Like it's 100% feels like a game maker game. But there's like a balance meter, like Tony Hawk style, where you have to go across ropes. And then every stage past this first one, you do a mini game where you have to take photos of your target. And it's a mob boss who you then dress up as for the next stage. And you have different power-ups and moves depending on which boss you're dressed up as. And then go kill the person you're dressed up as. And like this mirror match that all of them I saw on YouTube look like classics of game. Like it's like this one, like the first stage, you're like this fat bald guy. You look like Curly from the Three Stooges holding a club.
Like Fester.
And you look like Fester. And you just walk up to another Fester and the two Festers just hit each other with clubs until one of them falls down. And it was like, this is classics of game material right here.
I don't know a classics of game. Can you illuminate that for me?
Oh boy. Oh yeah. Get ready, buddy. Like, so go on YouTube. It's a YouTube channel. And there's probably like 50 of the videos and they're really incredible and you should watch all of them. They're like a minute long. They're just weird things from video games, taking it out of context as just like, here's a 30-second slice of this game. And when you recontextualize it and look at it by itself, it's just the weirdest thing. So classics of game, that is a YouTube playlist to remember.
Okay.
Those are very good.
Huh. Okay, yes, but this would be a perfect moment for that. The perfect fight.
Like the end boss fights where it's just the one guy who looks exactly like the other guy just going up and punching each other in the face until one of them falls over.
Right.
Super weird.
Huh.
And your movement set changes. Like when you wear the face of a ninja, you do cool ninja flips for some reason.
That's how that works.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I'm only a podcaster because I have this doughy bearded face.
Yeah, exactly. Like I stole a belly graph from outside of Tom Leykis' garage and Radio Man. And then the UI for this game is insane. Like up at the top, the spinning face and then the drinking bird.
Yep.
On the left, that's really weird.
Does that have any basis in like either the comics or the movie? Like I don't understand.
I think he had a drinking bird in the movie.
Okay, was it his constant companion that always agreed with him?
Yeah, there was a scene where he received it from his brother, and his brother was like, if you ever need me, smash this glass and drink the contents within, and you'll summon Lightman.
Is this like Dayman and Nightman?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Gary, I don't like it when our when our closest references are like exactly the same.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. We don't watch that much of the same stuff either. It just kind of
overlaps.
We're talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
Dude, I wish that more video games had a constant drinking bird, as a part of or just like UI elements that were just meant to calm you, like just a rhythmic, like just a thing.
That seems like a Suda 51 thing where you just press a button and it's like, here's a calming image for you.
Yeah. Look at these clacking balls. Like press triangle to look at clacking balls.
Newton's cradle.
Yeah. That's what the thing's called. Yeah.
And Cole on the fact checking comes in with the name for that thing that nobody cares about.
Yeah. The Office toy.
Yeah, that one right there. The toy, the plush is from The Office. Your Dwight Schrute bobblehead. Yeah. But even still, like I had trouble figuring out like how many lives I had left. I don't know why this has a life meter when somebody can just punch me off of a platform. Like that's the danger that you're in here.
Yeah, and you start off in the sewer with no rhyme or reason to it. Mm-hmm. Like the later levels where it's like you have to take pictures of a guy and infiltrate his like circus or construction site or wherever he works. Like that at least feels like something you'd do as a superhero. This sewer level is a real trial by fire.
Yeah.
You just start off dying in the sewer.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to make a statement here. Akin to, I will kind of like any game with a grappling hook. I might enjoy wall clinging as a platforming mechanic.
I think I like it too.
Yeah.
And in general, even though it took me a second to figure out, like I died in that first jump like a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Like just from like the thing you're talking about where you just don't jump with enough distance, like you don't get enough of a run, so you just go 2 pixels forward and fall straight down.
Yeah.
And then just trying to make the jump and landing, not on the edge and then just falling.
Right. Like the collision detection and just the general feel of playing this game is just terrible.
Yeah.
But the idea that like, oh, they're building this around you clinging to the sides of things. If you could cling to the sides of things when you wanted to do that, then okay, yeah, that'd be fine. But yeah.
It just there are a lot of those little interesting ideas like that don't kind of come up, and that's kind of, that's Ocean. The people who made this, like that's the kind of shit that they do. Like they're like the LGN of video game companies. Like. They just can't do it.
That is so weird that was just like a cottage industry for a couple of companies like that.
Yeah, like, just the garbageest, platformers based on movies.
So many people talk about like, oh, there was this crash because of like no quality control, but like there must have been something else outside of that, like in terms of economic factors. Like I wouldn't have, like if I played this, if I rented this, I wouldn't have had faith that anything would be worthwhile.
Yeah, not remotely.
Yeah.
The if anybody needs a cheat sheet, if they're running out of things to suggest for us, the Ocean Wikipedia page has a lot of things I'm surprised we haven't had suggested yet, and several that we have. So,
there's a Dennis the Menace game.
Dennis the Menace is Waterworld.
Waterworld was suggested recently. Actually, yeah.
WWF European Rampage Tour.
European Rampage. Le Smash.
Le Smash from St. Ash.
Je Cage Match. I think it is an
there is no cage match.
What's that?
Je no pas, like there is no cage match. Isn't that like, or isn't there like a there is no cage thing with the cigar?
Ce n'est pas un cage.
Yeah, there is no cage match. I thought there was another thing he did with the bird cage. Other than I can't remember though. Agreed.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, Ocean made Wet Tricks, which is actually a pretty fun puzzle game for the N64.
I believe it. Like, I mean, even a stop clock.
Yeah.
It's got to be right a couple times a day. Like, it seems like they probably made a couple good games, but mostly this is the Ocean doesn't get as much shit as I feel like they deserve. Like, it's all LGN, LJN. Yeah. But Ocean, this is pretty bad. RoboCop games, Platoon, that Platoon game we just played.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like this is pretty rough.
Daley Thompson's Decathlon.
Who's Daley Thompson?
I don't know.
It's Daley DAL. I thought it was just like, you're Daley Thompson.
Yeah. Hello.
Like, hello, I'm Daley Thompson. But
it's time for you
he's
to
a
wake
famous
up today.
decathlonist, so of course we don't know who he is.
Yeah, I don't even know what a decathlon is.
I like how that game has 2 sequels, followed by Daley Thompson's Olympic Challenge and Daley Thompson's Super Test. Daley Thompson's Super
That's
Test
him trying to pass the
PSAT. Yeah, like his Super GED. Yeah, I like Daley Thompson's Super Test is a great name for a video game. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. There's a game simply called Inferno.
Yeah, like not Little Inferno, just Inferno.
Nope, not Dante's Inferno.
Based on the movie too.
Which there's a Dante's Inferno. Okay, yeah, that's I about said, Gary, there's a game based on Dante's Inferno, but it was just a super non-memorable game, God of War clone. Which
boy.
In 10 years we can probably do that for the show.
That's probably true. Yeah, or we can do new games on the show if they're more affordable.
Yeah. That one, I assure you, Gary, we can get that for $5. I think we can swing it.
That's probably true.
From what I remember, we'll play that game if we want to see some rockin' tits.
Oh yeah, The rockin' tits.
Gary, are you into rockin' tits? Because Dante's Inferno's got them.
I've been known to enjoy a mega rack from time to time.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I'm down, and I'm down with get the rack attack.
I'm down to clown, as they say.
Yeah, I'm down to clown on a rack attack, motorboat some winter jubblies.
Yep.
I'll do it.
There's a game based on Short Circuit. I'm sorry to make this us reading Wikipedia. Which, I always associate. So, okay, this is a little bit of backstory. My stepfather is a profligate movie pirater.
Mm-hmm.
Was more so in the past, specifically with VHS. But in order to maximize what he would get off of each individual blank VHS, he would pair movies up. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you would get situations where the original, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 would be paired with Cop and a Half. So those movies in my mind will always be linked together. Mm-hmm. Because I want to watch both these movies, and he would put them on the same, cartridge for me. Right, for my sake. Short Circuit is always going to be linked with, the John Ritter movie about television. What is that?
Oh, stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah.
Because we would just put that in the middle of the summer and watch a Stay Tuned Short Circuit double feature.
Marathon. The saying that that movie is about television is a weird way to put it. Because, I don't remember that movie very well, but it does feature, somebody going to hell and meeting a demonic Wayne and Garth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought so.
Yeah.
There's a demon Wayne and Garth. Demon's Range World is in there. Wayne's Underworld is what it's called, I'm pretty sure.
Wayne's Underworld.
I think so. I think that's what it's called. I haven't seen it in a long time. But
wow.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it for a long time either. It is something I associate. I just remember in that in a quiz show section, part of one of the prizes that was meant to tempt him was a lazy boy that had a toilet and a fridge in it, so he wouldn't have to stop.
Yeah,
watching television. TV. Yeah,
there's a weird period in time where the evils of television.
Yeah.
We're, just watching too much TV. We've just given up on that. Everybody wants kids to exercise more.
Yep.
But I think it's more moved on to Call of Duty and everything. And there was a time where there was propaganda. There was Mike TV from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Right.
And stuff like that. That was a weird thing for a little while. We were just really worried about people watching too much TV. Mm-hmm. Now we don't give a shit. Maybe I'm just an adult. I'm just not noticing people telling me what to do. No one seems to tell me to stop watching TV now. It's so weird. Well, no, it's almost like I live alone.
It's almost like I'm really insulated from from views that are different than mine.
Yeah.
It's so weird, right?
Yeah.
How weird was it that in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, what he liked was Westerns, and that was his moral failing?
Yeah, that was very strange. The Oompa Loompa song is mostly about just TV, but they do talk about how Westerns specifically.
Yeah.
No good.
It's just that such a weird anachronism.
Yeah. Used to be big shit. I think that's probably left over from even when that movie came out, that probably wasn't big on TV. I think it's probably left over from the books.
Yeah, from the 50s.
Yeah. There's a very weird, and we mentioned last time people don't like when we read things from the internet on the show, but it's going to happen. On GameFAQs, there's a really weird little encounter on the message board for this game where somebody, Captain Nemo, says, with a message board post said, "I am everyone and no one, everywhere, nowhere, call me," which I assume is from the movie.
Okay, and not a summons for a drug transaction?
Yeah, well, I mean, it could be, but then the rest of it. But he goes on to say, "Darkman. I can't explain, but I love this movie ever since it first came out. The game, while still not perfect, is still a fairly decent movie adaptation. Thoughts, opinions?" And then his signature is, "If you believe in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and you're not ashamed, put this in your signature." And I only mentioned that just because the repetition of it makes this exchange weird. Yeah. And only one person has answered him during this thing. This guy named Turnbull AC, who's like, "Wow, this game has one archive post and one active post, and still number 6 on the NES message boards," which that must have been weird. "I like the movie better. I tried the game recently. It didn't hook me." And then it's them going back and forth with Captain Nemo trying to coaching him through it. The control, in being defensive, the controls aren't great, but if you can get into it, it's fun. And then this guy's like, and then this guy's just following Captain Nemo's advice.
Right.
He's like, "Oh, I did that. And I got stuck at this part." And he's like, "Well, you need to alternate between pressing A and B. Just keep practicing." And he's just kind of teaching you how to play. But every single time he gives him advice, it ends with, "If you believe in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and are not ashamed, put this in your signature." Do you think that he was starting to get frustrated that this guy never changed his signature?
I don't know.
Like if you read this in a conversation between two people, it sounds like one person telling that person to put this thing in their signature and the other guy ignoring him and just talking about Darkman.
I know from reading my fair share of forums that you eventually start to ignore people's signatures.
That's true.
So like taken again in a, greatest hits of games or whatever out of context. Like, yes, that is ridiculous that there's this massive refrain of after every sentence, assume that I'm telling you to convert to my religion.
Yeah. Every single time. So,
yep.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that there like apparently was a civil conversation on the GameFAQs boards like that. That is super heartening to me for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it is nice. I'm glad they're not fighting each other too.
Yeah. I like when people get along.
I do too.
Against all odds.
We can all agree on that.
Yeah.
It's just weird. It's just a weird little quirk.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Liam Neeson was like the perfect role for this. Like the perfect actor for this role. I'm sorry.
It foreshadows his return to action.
Uh-huh.
Being kind of an action badass, which he is now. He's like this octogenarian action badass.
Yeah. in what is it? Not Departed. Blah.
Taken.
Yeah, Taken 5.
Yeah, Taken. People just keep getting taken, and he's just there to stop it.
Yep. He's there to keep it.
At some point the problem is you.
Right.
Like if your family just keeps getting taken, like what's the common denominator here, Neeson?
Uh-huh. But like I just, it works for him as like a super dramatic voice actor more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, isn't it super weird that there was just like, we're coming across this in the games that we do from this era, but there was this whole other glut of superhero movies that like caused this proto crash that I expect we're going to experience in 3 years.
Of superhero movies?
Yeah, of superhero movies. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Part of me thinks they figured it out though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if we're going to head towards a crash because the bar has been raised so much higher
for like production or
for the movies.
Yeah.
Or no, I don't mean the bar as far as like the financial bar. I mean the like the quality bar.
Yeah.
It's been raised. This felt like this was in the wake of Batman, Tim Burton's Batman.
Right.
And there were a lot of people who were kind of cashing in without understanding why that was good.
Right.
Because that was such an auteur thing. I think with their Marvel movies, they've been very smart to make those of kind of a uniform style that is emulatable.
Right.
So it doesn't feel like this unique thing that in the hands of any other director will not look good.
Mm-hmm.
Like they each kind of put their own twist on it, but like they exist comfortably together. It doesn't feel like a cheat or it doesn't feel like a step down. Like I could see this just kind of being a genre of action movies for until time immemorial.
Right.
Until we get buried under.
Wow, you weren't lying
garbage.
about this being a Batman ripoff because Danny Elfman did the soundtrack for this.
Oh yeah. Do you want to hear what it sounds like?
No. Okay, sure. I'll put it in.
It sounds like this. Because it's Danny Elfman. All of his fucking songs sound like that.
Gary, how many Dead Men's parties am I going to go to?
No.
Because even though he tells me that I can't ask for more, I want more.
Yeah. You can't ask for more. Bum 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 bum. Everything is checkerboard. Bum bum.
He really should have worked harder to keep it together with Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah. He lost her. There's a story there, I bet.
I'm sure.
Helena Bonham Carter and Tim Burton live in separate houses. You know that, right?
No,
like
I don't.
They're married, but they live in houses. Then they're next door neighbors.
Uh-huh.
But they're married. They just decide to each have a his and her house next to each other.
That seems smart to me.
I love it. Like if check your privilege, Tim Burton, but like if I had the allowance for that seems ideal.
Yeah.
Like that's such a good idea because you just do sleepovers a lot.
Yep.
But if you need a night to yourself, like you got it totally to yourself.
Uh-huh.
Like that's brilliant. Like it's the best thing Tim Burton has ever done.
It feels in the same vein as a man cave, but far more acceptable for some reason.
And you don't have to say man cave.
Yeah, okay.
Like that's I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying like I hate that.
Oh, I do too.
Like,
I'm very vocal.
Me and Elizabeth are looking into getting a place. I'm like, I need my own space, not just because of recording and stuff, but also because my cat has to be sequestered from her dogs. Like he's never met a dog before and he's getting a little bit older. So I'm real worried about him.
Right.
So he needs his own space as well. But like every time we brought that up with anyone, they talk about like, oh, you're going to get your own little man cave. And I'm like,
nope. It's my own space.
It's an office.
It's my own space for my fucking cat. Like,
I'll do work in it. And yes, I will play video games and probably drink some beers, but it's not a man cave.
Right.
Yes, I'm going to put some posters of Tia Carrera on the walls.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Yes, I'm going to put up a glowing Bud Light sign.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to put a taxidermied moose.
I'm going to put up a neon cat.
Yeah, I'm going to put on a neon cat. But it's not a man cave.
Yeah.
Man cave sounds dirty to me too.
It does. It sounds like describing a rectum.
Yeah, butthole.
Yeah.
Like a gay bar.
The man cave surfers.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't care for who suggested this game.
This was suggested by 2 people actually, because in the wake of Shadowgate,
yes,
people hopped on the opportunity, and 2 of our stalwarts, Holland Hume and Samuel Bear. Actually,
hey guys,
yeah, it's great. You guys make the show run. We really appreciate your contributions. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sam says something funny. I will never stop sending emails to correct minor mistakes regarding forgotten 90s superhero movies to podcasts. Yeah. So
yeah,
thanks, guys. We really appreciate that.
Yeah. What are we doing next time?
Next time, Gary, 90s Kids Unite, Incredible Crash Dummies for the Super Nintendo.
Oh, awesome.
Wow.
Finally. Yeah, these guys. That weird.
Gary, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep it together.
Yeah, you might fall apart. You might lose your head. Bonus. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's fine. If anybody has any suggestions for other things, you can go to Duckfeed.tv/contact. You can also talk to us on Facebook at facebook.com/abject suffering.
Yeah.
And hit us up on all those channels and rate and review us and tell your friends about the show.
Yeah, you just kind of breezed right through that, didn't you?
Yeah, just scooting along.
Yeah, let's get this done. I like this. Efficiency.
Sorry. I'm not trying to give this section of our beloved admin section short trip.
No, it's perfectly fine. I'm just giving you shit for no reason.
Yeah.
Not really even giving you shit. I'm just commenting. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And if you can tell a friend, we really, really appreciate it.
We do. Yeah. So thanks, everybody. And what can they do until next time?
They can seek strength, and the rest will follow.
Yeah, the rest will follow. Like a dark man in the night. Check your man caves, listeners.
I might be in there.
Suffering in the morning.
I might be in your hand cave.
Bonus. Check out the man cave.
Am I like accidentally like doing something with the to the bonus, or are you just kind of?
It says I'm referencing a thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm embarrassed though because I want to make less references. That should have been my New Year's resolution. I never did it, but
to make less
just to make less, like fewer references. But it's instinctual. Like
it's shorthand. Like it's cultural shorthand. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it is fine. I shouldn't beat myself up over it. You're right. Yeah. My new resolution is not to beat myself up over making references.
Cool. There we go. Just take any turn just a little bit.